Hello everyone, and welcome to Celebstrology, where we analyze celebrities and their astrology. Today, thanks to popular request, we are going to be going over the astrological love compatibility between Amal and George Clooney to see what the stars have to say about these stars. And as always, you can order your own personal astrology analysis on my website, celebstrology.com, where I also have a sign-up list for my upcoming astrology course. Let's get started. And let's start with Amal, who is a lawyer specializing in international law and human rights. And when we look at her astrology chart, we can see why. This woman has tremendous vision, scope, and ability to look past her own personal bubble. Her birthday is February 7th, 1978, making her an Aquarius. This is an extremely intellectual and objective sign. Keyword here is rationality, and not only in the ways you might think. Aquarius season is late January through February, right in the middle of winter. This is the time of year when we need to conserve and allocate our resources properly. Its opposite sign is Leo, which is right in the middle of summer when all the flowers are in bloom and everything is abundant. So flip this when it comes to Aquarius. The middle of winter is when our ancestors could not afford to make mistakes. So Aquarius is extremely thoughtful and mentally disciplined, weighing all the pros and cons. It is a sign about innovation and optimization, and of course, rationality. Because Aquarius decides who gets what and when it comes to our portions, aka rations. That is why sometimes Aquarius people can seem cold or detached. They view love as energy and give it out sparingly and when necessary. These are picky people when it comes to love and take relationships seriously. So how does this match with George? He was born May 6, 1961, making him a Taurus. Aquarius and Taurus don't generally go together, but I have found on my channel that fixed signs, people born in the middle of seasons, tend to love other fixed signs. That is because they are steadfast, consistent, and reliable. What this shows me about George and Amal is that they weren't necessarily looking for intuitive chemistry and romance, but rather someone they could rely on and respect. And Taurus George is very reliable. Taurus loves commitment and resists change. This sign teaches us stability and taking things slow. Notice how it took George Clooney decades to get married, but when he did, he really settled down. Taurus is not impulsive, so its decisions really matter. My favorite Taurus example is Adele, whom I just did a video on with her boyfriend. Years ago in an interview, Adele said she could lose weight if she wanted to, but just didn't want to. Flash forward to today, and she's lost 100 pounds. It took her so long to change her mind, but once she committed, she went all the way. This totally relates to George Clooney's dating life. Quote, "I was like, I'm never gonna get married, I'm not gonna have kids," he told GQ magazine. "I'm gonna work, I've got great friends, my life is full, I'm doing well. And I didn't know how unfull it was until I met Amal." Aww. The couple got engaged less than a year after meeting and married a few months later. They had twins in 2017 and now have been together for almost a decade. See what I mean? There is nothing quite as powerful as when a Taurus finally decides and shifts gears. So why don't Taurus and Aquarius usually get along? It's not that they don't, they definitely have the same goals in mind of creating stability, but different approaches. Aquarius is all about mental energy and radical thinking and very theoretical. It's in its head. Taurus is down to earth. Taurus is practical and speaks the language of outcomes and results. Taurus is all about the tried and true, and Aquarius is more into the new and offbeat. As you can see, it's not necessarily bad, but they don't always share the same point of view. And Amal is truly a visionary. Her moon is in big picture Sagittarius, which is associated with finding meaning in life and our own place in the world. Both Aquarius and Sagittarius are quite philosophical. She really is concerned with society at large and is not satisfied thinking locally. This woman thinks globally. George has a moon in Capricorn, which means he is also concerned about society, but in a totally different way. He wants to work within existing structures and institutions. Both his Taurus sun and Capricorn moon like to utilize what works and do not want to reinvent the wheel. Amal is the opposite. She is all about unconventional solutions and being unafraid to challenge the system. And while these may seem like very political analyses, that's the kind of couple they are. Their dinner conversations are probably about humanity and how we can make the world a better place, especially with Amal's Aquarius-Sagittarius combo leading the way. Foreign relations and human rights is not just a career for her. This is everything, her life, her purpose, her mission. And while her Mercury in Capricorn makes her a little status conscious and not a total radical, ultimately George is not as progressive as she is. He does have a Pisces rising, however, which is indeed compassionate and sensitive. But he's a little more heartfelt with the causes he devotes himself to, and Amal is a little more intellectual. Neither her Aquarius or Sagittarius wants to get too attached. How can you save the world when you're crying, these signs ask. I think George Clooney is actually probably the softie here. His Venus is in Aries and Mars is in Leo, certainly making him more optimistic. Both Leo and Aries are fire signs that believe with the right amount of effort and elbow grease, it will all work out. Same for his Taurus and Capricorn. He is incredibly hardworking and does not get too down about things. He finds peace in being productive. And is also quite the attention seeker. That Mars and Leo and Moon and Capricorn combo just loves being famous. Don't let his calm Taurusness fool you. This man is destined for the spotlight. Amal is not as easily pleased. Her Mercury in Capricorn and Venus in Aquarius make her quite critical, and again, obsessed with societal relations. Her Mars is in Cancer, however, which adds feminine energy to her and a touch of tenderness. This is a very surprising match that would only work for two extremely mature individuals. It's no accident they met a little bit later in life. Amal and George Clooney have similar priorities, but entirely different points of view, perspectives, and approaches. There is a lot for them to work through, and I think their relationship is saved by the fact that they both have Mercuries and Earth signs. Mercury has to do with how you communicate, and they do have good working communication with his Mercury in Taurus and her Mercury in Capricorn. Even though their energies are totally different, they can come together and make a truly powerful match. George has his Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter all in the 12th house, making him a missionary at heart. This part of our birth chart is associated with spirituality and meaning. This is where we surrender to the ways of the world and find compassion. His 12th house is actually ruled by Aquarius, so maybe Amal's mental acumen can satisfy both of their humanitarian impulses. This couple is ready to save the world. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching Celebstrology, where we analyze celebrities and their astrology. Please visit my website, celebstrology.com, if you would like your own personal astrology analysis, or sign up for my upcoming course on the evolution of the zodiac signs. Also, if you could hit like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow and spreads our mission of developing a deeper understanding of astrology. Thank you.